Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. This become the old magic man about. We got a tractor. We got a Dinky Toys Field Marshall tractor towing triple gang mowers. There you go. So we're going to have a bit of a fun with these. As you watch it go around and have a look at it, I'd just like to welcome any new friends to the channel. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for joining. And welcome back all the old friends to the channel. Thanks very much for sticking with me, hanging around, and your continued support. It's much appreciated. Okay. Let's get it off the magic, get it on a bench, and have a good look at it. Here we are then. Let's unhook. Dinky Toys, number 301. Field Marshall. You can just see it stamped up there. Field Marshall tractor. I've done the other one. I've done the bigger version. This is slightly smaller one. I know crap old Nick did one of these a while back, so I'm going to have a go now. I'm debating whether to go red or green. I've been looking at Google images, and a lot of these were green, a dark green or a medium green. So I might go on a green, and a lot of them were show tractors. Chrome here, chrome there, around the filter grill radiator there. So we can bling this up a little bit. Metal wheels, no tires to deal with, 2 posts, and we've got steering there. Okay, so we might put a screw in there so we can adjust the steering to suit. We'll see. Tow bar, we've got to leave that on, haven't we? Steering wheel's missing and the driver's missing, but I've got over here somewhere, I've got a driver. I dug out my spare box and I've got a couple of steering wheels in there, so we can try those. That's that. Now, triple gang mowers, again by Dinky. This one's broken. Where is it? That one. Yeah, I don't know the number off this offhand, but it's Mikado Limited Dinky. Yeah, fairly done these. They go on there and they got that's like a funny shaped post to lock in place, and it's pinned over at the end. The blades go round. Excuse me, we'll have a yawn. Yeah, the blades go around, and they don't pivot truly, just go partly like that. It's got the hook. So we're going to go with these now. I've driven tractors with these on the back, so I might change the colour, because normally these are either green or sometimes yellow, but mostly green. The ones I drove were green or even black, but these blades were painted red, so we might go green and red, and we'll do metal around the tyres and rubber. These are old ones because they got these metal wheels. Even the real things sometimes had metal wheels on, but they would scuff and skip, and they change into rubber tyres at a later date. So we might go green on that with the red there with some chrome accents on there. Yeah. So there you go. So we'll get the tools out. Well, this one's already coming apart, that one. We'll get the tools out and we'll get stripping. Right, let's have a bit of a drilling session, shall we? Let's get this off here, shall we? We'll first have a go without trying to snap off that. So we'll hold it there. Just a gentle pull on this. Headphones, turn them off. quite a flat mushroom, that, isn't it? That's quite a hefty mushroom, that, on there. Quite a hefty mushroom on that one. Looks like to be a washer underneath it as well. We'll just have a little play about, see what we can find. It's coming out from the top there, look. So we'll see if we can prise that out of there. It's nearly there. He's a bit tight. There he goes. That's gone. That could do with a bit of a straightening there. We'll straighten that out once we've got the axles out. Yeah, a bit askew with that post on there. A bit tricky, that. Right, let's try the back one. I can rest the back on there. It. Yeah, some of the drills are that one there is just the right size, but then if it's spread a bit more, you've got to sort of move it around, because otherwise it'll the next drill size up would damage the base. We don't want to do that, do we? Well, that's the axles come out. We might have to trim some more off this front post. Just try and lift it up. There we go. That's got it. So that's that out. I'll take that out. That's that out. Pliers. Don't want them. The steering wheel, we'll try and get in there with this. It might be a bit chunky, but we'll try it. It should be maybe somewhere near. Here she comes. Oh, there's all that all over the place. Come on, baby. There you go, that's that out. Well, I don't think there's anything else we can take off there. I'll check to see if that is supposed to be at an angle. I'm not going to force it if I don't have to. I'm going to snap it off. Ah, there you go, there's a spring. I forgot about that. A spring in there. Yeah, that goes. Yeah, that'll go to old. Because that goes on there. Yeah. Yeah, that will go that way round, and this goes on there, one of these ways round. I think it was that one. It goes like that, then there's the spring goes in, the washer on top, and then the screw, so there's definitely got to be a screw going in there. So that's that and that. We'll drill out for screws there. And then might as well, we're going to put a screw in there, might as well put one in the back there, keep it the same. That's cast in, so we'll not take that out. That's all cast in, so that's okay. I need to take these off here. Back with the other ones, there. And there. We need to get them out, don't we? So we can use the rotary for that one. What we got? 7 minutes. Just a bit mindful of the time, that's all. I don't spend too much time on one item. So, where's my drum? Where's my drum, lad? So we'll whack that in there. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on one particular area. So, like, people do ask me, well, why didn't you show this and why don't you show that? But I tell you, once you start doing videos, you've got to be very mindful of the time. Let's narrow in. I'm not so bothered about these, protecting these, because they're metal wheels. One. Cool. It's a bit tight in there, isn't it? That's going to have a bit of a workout while that's tight in there. I think because the whole thing's a bit bent, isn't it? There you go. Just need to relieve the pressure. Under pressure. That's that one and that one. Quick zoom round this one. If you go that way, it goes away. It gets away from you. Right. Right, that's that stripped. Turn this off for a minute. Well, I'll put these in a box and then we'll turn to the mowers. So we'll put the mowers in. Now, just show you. Get me pointy. That's got like a T-piece in there. Okay. And that corresponds with that T-piece in there. So we have to take the tops off these. Take these out. So it's just basically drill, get them out. Okay. So I'll just do this front one. See if that's enough. Maybe not. So I think this has got a, what's that on there then? It looks like some sort of washer, isn't it? On that one. Don't know why that's got a washer on it. Okay. It's the only one that's got a washer on it. I don't know why this one has and not the others. Right, that's the washer off. And then you should just be able to pull that over the top. So that's how they come out. Okay. Now these wheels, if you look at them, they're not domed. Well, they are. Let me explain about on this one. When I've already took apart, it's the one I did earlier. You notice it's got a slot rather than a hole, and there's your slot. So you pull that out, and your axle is actually square or oblong, whichever you want to call it. There, you see. So they fit in them slots like that. When you've took that out, there's your blade, which has also got a slot. Now you've also got a washer on one end, so you don't lose that. That's like a spacer. So that's what it's like when it's stripped. So in order to get that there, as you can see, I'm pushing that wheel down and pushing that. There's not a lot to grab hold of in there to get it off. Okay, so what I did was I got this. It's basically a punch, cut down, put it in there, stood that on there like that. So I've got as much pushing. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's go up a bit and go that way a bit. So I've got as much pushing that and poking out the top as I can get. And then I got my Dremel, my Wizard, and I've got that little burr end on it, yeah. Okay, I'll just move my drill out of the way because I keep knocking into it. There we go, get that out of the way. And very carefully take off the flattened down bit without damaging the metal wheel. There you go, and she's off. Yeah? So be careful with that. Try and get the thinnest burr that you can. Don't use one of them round burrs. And I'll just keep pressure on that. Keep pushing down so you've got as much poking out the top. We'll shift that out of the way. But that's it then, you just pull it out. Drop your blades out, and there should be a washer in there. Maybe. No, not on this. Oh, there it is there, it's dropped out. There it is there. I just bring the camera down again, turn it up that way. Yeah, it's dropped out. I don't think it matters. Yeah, it goes in this side here. I was going to say it doesn't matter which side, but it does. It goes in like that. Okay. A bit complex, but it's all good fun, isn't it? And then we're going to paint all these green, all that green. Probably keep the green wheels. And then bare metal showing up that there, and we'll do these red. Okay, so that's two. I'm going to get on and do the third one, and then we can get in the caustic and get it stripped. So I hope you found that interesting. If you want to do one of them, now you know how to do it. Just a little quick tip. If you're doing something like this with multiple parts of the same thing, like these here, I always find it best, good practice, to keep all the parts of the individual ones in separate. Even though they've been cast in a mould and everything else, if you just chuck them all in a box and then decide to put them all together, you might have a slight difference. So just to avoid all that, I've separated them all, but they're all in different tubs. So when I come to strip them down, I'll strip them down and put them all back in individually. That's, for me, that's the best way, I think. Keeps everything together so you know that it should fit back together as you took it apart. All right, we're all out of caustic soda. Yeah, it came off within a couple of minutes. So tractors on all these are the 3 separate things. And I'll tell you what, I've been over the wire brush and the wire wheel, and it's took me forever. In the other tub we've got the base plates. So what I'm doing at the minute, and that's the frame. So I'm just now gone over the wire brush. That's my first move, wire brush and wire wheel, and I'm just going around filing off a few things. She was a bit rough around the front here, so I've gone over the file roughly, so it's not super smooth yet, but it will be in a bit. I'm just working on the wheel arches. You can see there's 1 or 2 dinks in it. So I've got this triangular file, which is quite a rough file, and I'm just going over the edges and bringing the edges up to snuff. There's a lot here, so I'll go along the edges. She's a bit bubbly there. So I'll go on with a bit of pressure to start with, just to get the shape that I want. And then when I'm getting near the shape I want, I'll lighten up on the file, so the scratches I'll put in will gradually come out. So just go along, trying to get it as smooth as you can. Not super smooth. I shall put a picture in when I get it off Google Images of the tractor that I saw and the colour which I'm going to do it in. So you'll see that at some point along in the video, probably before I paint it. Yeah, so just going around and getting all the chewed edges smooth. That's what I'm doing here. It's not too bad, this one, actually. Apart from that bit around the nose, it's pretty good. Bit of pitching, but that will smooth out until I finish this. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Just going to check everything else is not too bad. Oh, I did take the exhaust out of there. Where is it? Yeah. I had a job to get that out of there, I must admit, because it was slightly bent, and I want to paint in it behind here. This had to come out. It was like a flat, like a mushroom on there. I had a job to get it out, to heat it up and everything to get it out, but she's out now. So, got to finish up cleaning this up now with some sandpaper. and then I'm going to drill. I'm going to go with screws in here simply because of the steering on the front. I need to get the tension on that right, so a rivet might not cut it. You might not get it right, and it'd be awkward, either too loose or too tight. So the screw there, so therefore I have to put a screw in the back of that. So these should be screwed. You'll be screwed, and there's lots of detail. There's going to be some chroming going on, so I need to smooth out with a smoother file. I've got a smoother file here to smooth out these lines here, there, all around there, because that's going to be silver. These lines here going around the front, they'll be silver. That there will be silver. Those lines around there, that'll be black. That'll be the outer side, that pulley wheel, that'll be silver. And the outside of that pulley wheel will be silver. You put belts on them, you see. Doing that, and then obviously you got all the front. You'll see from the picture I'm going to put up anyway. Yeah. The filters there. Probably fuel filters, I would say. Then obviously the frame doesn't need a little bit of cleaning up, which is a bit rough around here. But we'll smooth that out. The blades. What I should be doing with these, I should be painting these. Like I said, the frame's going to be green. These blades will be red. The drums, and then I'm going to go along my file when it's all painted and just shine up that edge of the blade. So you can see the edge of the blade then. Once the paint has come off there. That'd be that. The rollers, there's these two rollers here. They'll be bare metal, so I'll mask them up before I paint. So there's a lot to do. The wheels, they'll be green, but the outer wheels, what I might do here is paint the whole wheel green, and because they're quite raised treads on there, again, go along with the file and just basically shine up the tops of the treads, shall I say. Just to give it that bit more realism, which is what I like to do on some of these things. Well, I can. Yeah, so that's what we're doing with these. So there's a lot of work. So it's going to be a fairly long video, so be patient. And there we go. So let's move on and get this all ready for priming. Right, we'll just have a quick word about scraping, shall we? Now this little old tractor here, if you go on Google Images, you'll see a lot of chrome work on these things for the show tractors. Oh, Tilly, come in, because I've got the fire on. Sorry, the dog's coming in, I've got the fire on. Yeah, so what my intention is to scrape that around that framework, and all these on the front, and all these down here. Now before you start scraping, the best thing to do is to check, make sure that these are smooth. Yeah, make sure where you're going to scrape, you've smoothed off, either with a file to start off with lightly to get any chunks out, and then go around with some sandpaper or one of these. Yeah, because what the intention is, you need to get that as smooth as you can, so when your paint's on, your lacquer's on. I always tend to do mine after I've lacquered it, because once you put lacquer over top of that, it dulls it down a little bit. And then you can get your knife. I'll show you this when I come to do it anyway. But once you've smoothed that down, you want a nice curved blade like that. Yeah, and you want a short one. You don't want it too long and flexible. And then you can get in, and because you've done it nice and smooth, it's not going to snag on any chips or anything like that, because you've got to go all around here. Yeah, it's not easy, but it is worth it if you don't want to paint all that. Yeah, so get it nice and shiny like that, nice and smooth, and check it for any chips and dents, And you can get your knife and just go at the back of your knife and just go along the inner and outer edges to get them reasonably smooth as well. So when you're riding your knife along, you're not going to drop down. Right, I've got the fire on. I've got some primer warming up. And we'll get this lot primed. There's a lot of it. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here to prime and paint. So it's going to take me a while. Right, I'm going to give you a quick demo on how I do my metal tractor wheels. Alright. Just put a bit of primer in there. Okay. And I use this stencil, my tyre gauge thing. This is an old one. I've been kindly donated a new one. So this is my old one. And what I do is I pick the right hole that covers. I don't know if you can see that from there. Let me go down it if I can. It's a bit awkward. Yeah. Pick the right size hole, lay that over the top. You want it just enough to cover the wheel. Cover the hub, like that. You can put masking tape over that if you want to. And then get it about right. See that? And then give it a quick flick. That's all you want, a quick flick like that, just to get the primer in there. There you go. Now you do the same with the top coat. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at these then. Painting, let's just clear these out of the way. Do those two. Yeah, the painting is completed now. This is the green that I've done for the trailer at the back there, the trailer frame. That one, that's a meadow green. This is the tractor. This is in laurel green. Yeah. So I just practiced a bit of scraping there just to make sure it was okay to scrape without leaving too many finger marks in it. You've got a slight imprint there, so you have to be very careful with the lightest touch when you're doing this. So that's the laurel green, all done. So that's your tractor unit. The base is in here. That's all painted in the standard black. I've done the inners of these wheels green. I'm now going to hand paint some Tamiya tyre black, or I'm going to use Revel anthracite, one or the other. Not sure yet. So what I have been doing is putting these together, and I'll show you how to put it together in a second. I just wanted to get these out of the way, get them done. Okay, so I've changed the blades from yellow to red. Bare metal rollers. I've done the edge of the wheels in bare metal because these were metal wheels on the early ones of these before I changed to pneumatic tyres or pneumatic tyres or whatever. So, how I put these together. First of all, we need to do the scraping. And I'll just show you the one here. Just get your knife underneath there and just scrape along. This is to show the edge of the blades on these mowers which were sharp. This is the cutting edge. So we go along and we do that. You can follow beyond if you want with a bit of sandpaper just to brighten them up a little bit, if you want to. There you go. So that's how we do these. It'll take 2 minutes. This one looks a bit rough because I must admit I didn't do what said to do on the tractor. I didn't file these smooth, and hence you can see I'm struggling now to get this off. But I did forget to do it on these blades, so that's my fault. But that will come clean in a minute. You hear any barking and growling in the background. It's Ron and me, the dog Tilly. They're play fighting in the garden. So yeah, you can see it's catching there, look. So you can now see the benefits. Well, you will see the benefits of sanding and smoothing the parts that you want to scrape against the parts that I didn't do. But yeah, it just gives you that little bit extra bling. Makes it look a bit better. There you go. They're all done now. I can go over with a file just to brighten them up a little bit, give them a bit of an edge. Like that. All the way. I'll probably do it's just something I like to do to make it look more authentic than being just a toy. Not everybody's cup of tea. People like to keep it as original. Like we all know, once you start taking these things apart, they are no longer classed as original. So there you go, that's it. Right. As you know, this is a square bar, not a round one. Well, a flat bar, I should say, rather than a round one. So get your, oh, that's what I hadn't done. What I'll do with these, I've got the sanding drum on here, and I'll just quickly just rub over the top. No pressure, because I didn't put hardly any paint on them. I deliberately avoided the edges with the paint. But you can find your own method if you want. So just brushing it on like that, just touching it on the high spots on there. Just stroking it basically. Gives it that 3D looking effect. There you go. That'll do for that. So now we got this piece. We'll drop the first one in here first. These are a little bit tricky at times, trying to get these in here. They'll go in there all right, but the tricky bit is this bit here, this little concave whatever it is washer, that goes on there. Get that in there, and because you've got that slot there, you've got to try and get that in there. Hopefully I'll just stand it up and then you can see the slot. Hopefully get it balanced right, and then drop this in. Steady. Don't always go according to plan, as you know. There you go, drop that in. Now then you've got to try and get this in that hole, that end, past that washer, past that washer, which can be a little bit tricky. And there you go, got it. Well, that was better than the other ones. I did struggle like out with the other ones. Now this one goes on. Try and keep your thumbs out of the way. On there. Now what I've done, I can't pin these over because there's no room. So what I've been doing, just putting the bottom piece on there, so pushing that pin up as far as I can. And you won't be able to see that now, will you? Pushing that pin up as far as I can there. And just putting the smallest bit of super duper on a cocktail, sticky, on a cocktail stick. But I'm not putting that wheel tight down to the chassis. I'm just going to put a bit of this on the top, around there. Because I want some movement. I did the first one I did it a bit tight and it struggled to move. So when I do that, it's just lift the wheel up there and give it a second or two. And it should bite on and hold. There you go. All right. And that's, now you got your movement, look. Okay. So there's your three. That's your triples, as they call them in the trade, so they say. That's the triples. So they're all ready to go. Unscrew and put in here. But I'm going to let that super glue go off a bit before I do that. I'm not going to, that's a piece of sprung metal. I'm not going to bare metal that one. I'm going to leave that. So when I come back to the assembling, we'll do that. Just give that time to dry. So that's that bit. Let's have a look. Right. Okay. Here we go. We're going in. We're scraping. All right. I'll zoom down the camera a bit to make it a little bit easier for you to see, hopefully. Now, unlike those blades, I have smoothed this out prior to doing it. Now, there's a lot of scraping to do on this. Lines there, round the front, across the top, and this. So obviously I want to show you all. It's going to take me, I would say, the best part of a couple of hours to do this. So I'm going to show you a little bit, okay? All right. So it doesn't always work out, but we'll do our best, because I don't normally do this on camera because it's a bit awkward. I've got gloves on just in case. Now, let's go with this bottom line here. This has been painted and it's been lacquered. And it's had a while to dry. If you leave it too long to dry before you attack it, then the chances are it will chip. If it's too soft, you'll leave marks all over it. So it's a happy medium. Right, so sharp blade, and I always use a curved blade, a short curved blade, which is not too flexible. If it's too long, it's a bit flexible and you lose a bit of control. So the trick is getting underneath. Yeah, see, look, I've just got underneath it there now, and just keeping your blade away from everything else. And you see, look, see that's come up like that, look. A lot of that is because I've smoothed it, and you can turn it round, turn your blade round, and just go to the end like that. Okay, be careful how you pull it off as well. right, and you can go over it again to get that bit more shine in it, because you've obviously got, it's going to leave some sort of sticky residue, so you can go over it again. Okay, this is one of those jobs where you need to take your time and watch where you're going. Some places are really awkward, you see I'm just catching it down there, but luckily I'm taking it off anyway, so we'll go down there anyway. Sometimes you'll try it and you need to move on, go around another piece because you haven't quite got it. Or the paint is dried a bit harder here than it has elsewhere. So we're going down nice and steady. Like so. See, the back of the blade is touching that, so you need to think, oh right, I better bring the blade up a little bit. But that's not so bad because it's going to be painted black anyway. So it's one of the things you've got to be watching all the time what you're doing. So this is how we do it. Anyway, this is how we do it. Okay. So I want all that off that circle. Try not to pull the paint out in the middle of that. We just get rid of that little bit there. There you go, let's get rid of that. I don't want to risk the paint peeling up and bringing a lot more stuff with it than it needs to. Like I say, it's not for everybody, this. You can paint it in if you want to, or you can just leave it. But I'm just showing you, because people have asked me how I do it. It takes patience. I'll give you that. It takes patience and it takes time. It's all about watching the angle of your blade. But you do get that nice, natural metal finish. There you go, look. It's coming on, isn't it? Right now, I've kept you 6 or 7 minutes, so I'm going to carry on doing this all by my lonesome. And hopefully, we'll have some good results by the end of it. You can, if you do make a mistake, you've got some paint left, touch it in with a cocktail stick, which I have done before. Get rid of that tail end there. It's a bit stubborn, that, isn't it? Come on, that way. It's got it. Right, let me carry on with this then. It's going to take me a long, probably take the rest of the afternoon really, with breaks in between. Well, we done it. See what you think to this. There you go. All around there. Around there. And we might put a black wash in them grills. I did revisit the Google images of what was going on, and these were all cleaned out. A little bit of black wash in there. So let's have a look. See, we got one or two other bits. I was going to do the filters here, but the wheel's going to pretty much cover that, so I'm not going to bother with that. We didn't have a lot of damage. A couple of rough bits. Let's just get some of that dust out of there. Yeah. Yeah. A little tiny nick there, but I'm not going to bother with that. I don't think. Because it could do more harm than good. Yeah. So there we are. All successfully scraped. Now I've had gloves on. My hands are all tacky, so I'm going to go and wash them. I'm going to have some dinner or lunch or whatever. So I think next stop then, I'm going to paint these tyres on these wheels. Everything else is ready to go. Then we can look at assembling it. Well, all the painting is going to do. I'm not going to do more details. I've got the exhaust stack. That's over there drying. That's done in the black. I've got the steering wheel to paint and the tow bar to paint, but I'll do them with the marker pen. It's a lot quicker and easier. So then we can assemble. So we'll see you shortly. Oh, right then, it's magic carpet time. Let's see if we can get this together. I've just had to glue old Cuthbert because I broke his leg. I got him in there, try fitting him, and I pushed a bit too hard and broke his leg below the knee. That'll teach him, won't it? Anyway, let's have a look. I'll put the steering column in because you need to get that in before you put the driver in. So let's have a look. So got the wheels, other wheels are over here. I painted over the wheels, axles, as it is. I've had to shorten the spring on there because I'm using rivets and not screws. I couldn't hold it down. The screws weren't going to be very good on there because it's such a large hole. So I've opted for that. It's doable. It's doable. Right, so see if we can get this right. Let's get the towing hitch in first. Put that in there. Put the back axles in. Now I've used on here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think I'm going to just put a drop of super duper on that, I think. Just to hold it in place. I don't want it in the hole. Just want a little bit on the side there. There you go. I've used Tamiya tyre black for the tyres on there. I have cheated a little bit, as you've probably noticed. I haven't done the inside of the tyres. Let's push that in there. That's in there. Then we get the base on. Put the spring in first. That's the cut down spring. Drop that in there first. Put your base on. That fits on a treat. Then you need to put. Was it the? I can't remember which way. Where was it? The washer. And then that, I think. If I remember rightly. think that's the way around it went. No, it wasn't. I think that goes in first. And then the washer. And this is where it gets tricky. I need to make sure that that is pushed right down because of the tension on the spring. There, you see. Is that moving? That's a bit of tension on your spring. Put a bit of super duper in the hole. Oops. Put our rivet in. Get hold of the bloody thing. And I need to hold that down. Like so. Okay, that's locked in place. One on the back. Come on then. This is not the way to do it. Pick it up with your fingers, boy. There you go. Messing about with pliers and tweezers and crap. There you go, that's okay, that's working all right. So in there. Right, let me just set that up for a minute. There for a second, get the other bits together. Got a steering wheel, exhaust pipe, and cuthbert with his broken leg. I bet he's going to snap his leg when I put him back in again, I know it is. Yeah, Tamiya tyre black. Well, rubber black actually. I'll use all that. I haven't put any lacquer or protection on them tyres, so I thought I'd leave them. We get the exhaust on now. Bit more super duper. I'll put it over here, I don't want to get it on a magic. And we're getting there now. Put that in there like so. There you go. There we go. What I'm going to do is I need to put cuthbert in. Yeah. But because it's an awkward one because he's got to get his leg in that slot down there. Here. And it rubs up against his mudguard, so it's a lot of tension on his leg. So I'm going to do that. We're all there, look, we're all turning. We're all turning, we're all working. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to do, I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'm going to have a cup of tea, let him dry pretty solid, get him in, put the steering wheel on. I mean, that ain't going to be anything fantastic to deal with. I'll just show you the hookup of these. There's your hookup. It's a bit brighter green on camera, but there you go. We're all going. And I've got a little bit of a plinth I'm going to put this on with some grass on it. So we'll see how it goes. All right, catch you in a minute. This is what we started with. Dinky Toys Field Marshall tractor and triple gang mower on the back. So have a look, see what we did to it, see if you like it. Have a look at this. Here we go, we're all done. Done a little bit of a grassy scene there for you. I can use this as a generic thing now. As you can see, we're all cutting, all the blades turning. Go back a bit now. Don't want to cut the flowers. Let's bring it forward a bit so we can turn it around. Put your details on the front there, all around there. Yeah, it's turning out quite nice, this one. Old Cuthbert, yeah, his leg's alright. We managed to fix him. He's a $60 million farmer now. Yeah. Yeah, quite a nice one, this one. Then triple mowers, all done. Steel rollers on the back. See all your blades there. I'll turn it. And you can see that why that one is adjustable for the height of a tractor thing. When you lift that up, that front mower will drop to keep them other ones level. Yeah, well, I hope you like this one. Something for the tractor boys. Yeah. I'll stick it on a Magic in a minute so you can have a quick look at it on there under a different light. I just thought I'd do this. And these are still dry. Whoops, still drying bits of these. These are courtesy of my mate Mark. Bits of scenery stuff. Make use of them all. So if I've got anything else that wants to go on a grassy surface, I can use this one. There you go. Right, let me get on the Magic then, you can have a proper look at it. Here we are then. Under the lights. Yep. This is our Field Marshall tractor. All blinged up. And our set of triple gang mowers. All these by Dinky Toys. Yeah. There you go. I look forward to your comments on this one. This is one for the tractor boys. Yeah, a little showed you how to do the scraping. Yeah, there you go. Well, like I always say, be happy. Hopefully you'll be lucky. And we'll see you all again next week. What is it next week? Oh yeah, it's the DMC challenge next week. Any scrapyard vehicle or diorama, barn find, so pretty generic. I'm still thinking of what I'm going to do. So we'll see you all again next week with that one. So enjoy yourselves, have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. So bye for now. And we'll cut it about here, I think. I'll do nicely, old Cuthbert.